6. Creepy and intriguing mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. 6 creepy and intriguing mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. Why do aircraft and navigational equipment suddenly stop working when they reach the Bermuda Triangle? What makes planes and ships vanish without a trace? And what about the mysterious Bermuda Triangle right here in Vietnam, where planes go in and never come back? These are questions a lot of you have been asking. So, without further ado, let's dive in and explore in today's video. 1. What is the Bermuda Triangle? Where is it? My friends, in the North Atlantic Ocean, an area holds some of the most terrifying mysteries in the world, known as the Bermuda Triangle, or sometimes the Devil's Triangle. This area is marked by the Florida Peninsula of the United States, the island of Puerto Rico in the Caribbean, and the islands of Bermuda. These 3 points form a triangle shape at sea, with each side about 2,000 kilometers long. For hundreds of years, many incredibly strange stories have come out of this place. Numerous ships, planes, and even hot air balloons have mysteriously disappeared while passing through this area. Even stranger, after many years, even centuries, some of these vessels suddenly reappear in the same location, and many unexplained supernatural phenomena occur. And since records began in 1851, it's estimated that around 8,127 people have gone missing there. Add to that the phenomenon of ghost ships with no crew, appearing and disappearing, radio signals vanishing, compasses spinning wildly, and many other things that, to this day, leave people both terrified and intrigued. According to Business Insider, at least 50 ships and 20 aircraft have vanished without a trace in this area. Let's take a look at some of the most mysterious disappearances. 2. The most mysterious disappearances of the Bermuda Triangle. The first incident to mention is the mysterious disappearance of the warship USS Cyclops, the pride of the U.S. Navy. On March 4, 1918, the USS Cyclops left Brazil on a mission to refuel ships for ammunition production. The ship was scheduled to arrive in Barbados in March of that year with 309 crew members on board. However, something unfortunate happened while passing through the Bermuda Triangle. The USS Cyclops vanished into thin air, disappearing without a trace. Despite large-scale search operations, the more than 300 sailors and officers on board were presumed dead. This is considered the most serious non-combat accident in U.S. naval history. This tragedy hadn't even faded when another devastating incident occurred. On December 5, 1945, a squadron of 5 U.S. bomber planes, known as Flight 19, was on a training mission and flew over the Bermuda Triangle. And the ending was that they never returned. Even more horrifying, a ship carrying 13 people sent to search for the 14 missing crew members of the lost squadron met a similar, mysterious fate. However, topping the list of bizarre incidents in the Bermuda Triangle that have caused the most public uproar is the disappearance of the ship Mary Celeste. In November 1872, Captain Benjamin Briggs commanded the Mary Celeste on a voyage from New York, USA, to Genoa, Italy. Also on board were his wife and 2-year-old daughter, along with a crew of 7. They thought the maiden voyage would go smoothly, but 8 days after the ship left New York Harbor, the Mary Celeste was found drifting aimlessly between the Azores and the coast of Portugal. Even more astonishing, when boarding and inspecting the ship, it was found to be in excellent condition, fully stocked with goods, food, and enough fresh water for 6 months. Only the people were missing. Not even a single body could be found. On deck, the ship's rudder was spinning freely. One sail was damaged, and the remaining sails and navigation equipment had vanished without a trace. To this day, no one has explained why this ship was drifting 400 nautical miles from its last recorded position. There's nothing in the captain's log to explain why he abandoned the ship to drift at sea and disappeared so mysteriously. To this day, with countless unsolved disappearances, many speculate that they were abducted by aliens. Some believe they were taken by Atlanteans from the bottom of the sea. Others attribute it to unusual weather phenomena. And some believe that these missing people entered a completely different dimension from the one we live in. What's the truth? Let's hear from some witnesses who returned from the Bermuda Triangle's realm of death. 3. Witnesses recount their miraculous returns. There are things that people think are fantastical or mythical, but the truth is, they're completely the opposite. On January 6, 1966, the ship Ulysses mysteriously vanished in the Bermuda Triangle, but 24 years later, it suddenly reappeared on a deserted beach on the outskirts of Caracas, Venezuela, leaving everyone stunned. At that time, 3 sailors on the ship, one of whom was Mino from Camden, a fisherman, recounted. On January 6, 1966, the Ulysses departed from Aruba, but encountered a storm, so we had to head for a nearby shore to take shelter immediately. I was shocked when I asked the locals and realized that it was 1990. Another sailor named Bolivar, 19 years old, recounted that when the storm hit, they were catching a large tuna weighing over 100 kilograms. It was still frozen in the ship's cabin. The fish was indeed as fresh as if it had been caught yesterday. But how could this fish, caught in 1966, still be fresh in 1990? Not to mention, the age and physical condition of the 3 sailors were completely normal, no different from 24 years earlier. Could they have fallen into another dimension in this Bermuda Triangle area? This is entirely possible. In the same year, a plane believed to have disappeared in Bermuda in 1955 also suddenly returned in early 1990. The remarkable thing is, they hadn't aged at all, and they still thought it was 1955. Therefore, it's not out of the question that there's a time warp, a portal to another dimension, in this Bermuda Triangle, just like in time travel movies. What do you think about these mysterious returns? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And there's a harsh reality. Aside from a few lucky ships that returned, the vast majority of vessels and aircraft have vanished without a trace. There's even a ghost ship that appears and disappears with no one on board, sending shivers down the spines of anyone who sees it. 4. The mystery of the ghost ship, appearing and disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle. The information in this section about the ghost ship comes from a cultivator with special abilities who used his supernatural powers and shared what he saw. So, if you find this information unbelievable or unrealistic, you can treat it as a legend and do your own research. This is the story of the disappearance of the fishing vessel by Chimo. In September 1931, the Canadian fishing vessel by Chimo was carrying furs worth hundreds of thousands. On its voyage of over 10 days nearing Alaska, it encountered a blizzard and became trapped in ice, unable to move. Within a week, it had disappeared twice. 10 years later, the Baichimo suddenly reappeared, like a ghost ship drifting on the sea. For decades, no one saw this ship. What on earth happened? This cultivator recounted that he saw this ship in 1941, when it had already sunk to the bottom of the Arctic Ocean. The hull remains intact to this day. This ship has been drifting on the sea for so many years, and in reality, it's controlled by a group of spirits. These spirits were once crew members of a Spanish treasure hunting ship. During the Age of Sail, the crew of this ship committed evil deeds on an island in the South Pacific, such as robbery and murder, angering a sorcerer of the island's indigenous people. The sorcerer used black magic to cast the most evil curse, and all the crew members on that ship died from the curse. Then, a sudden epidemic took the lives of everyone in that group. Not only that, but these people, after death, couldn't be reborn and become wandering spirits. These spirits lost their way into another dimension, and they tried to find a ship that could take them back to that ancient vessel. Coincidentally, the Baichimo had a compass that was one of the items they had used before, and so these spirits took over the Baichimo. However, despite wandering for years, all these spirits saw were scenes corresponding to another dimension, so they couldn't find their way back to Spain. Sailors who see the Baichimo are seeing its image refracted from another dimension. This ghostly, demonic ship, despite disturbing the human world and disrupting the order and stability of the sea, was pushed by the sea god who governs the western seas, using powerful magic, to an island in the Arctic Ocean. And the Baichimo itself is forever sunk to the bottom of the deep Arctic Ocean. But that's not all. In this eerie sea, it's said that there are also aliens with incredibly terrifying conspiracies. 5. The mystery of aliens in the Bermuda Triangle. Hey, with the unexplained disappearances of so many victims, ships, and planes, people have come up with countless theories, including human error, careless calculations, and inattentive piloting of planes and ships, leading to accidents. The magnetic field in this area may be too strong, causing compasses to lose their direction. But these don't seem convincing enough, so they started thinking, could the Bermuda Triangle have giant sea monsters hundreds of meters long? And they could suddenly rise from the seabed, using their huge tentacles to swallow ships whole, crush them, and drag them down to the depths. However, later, when the Bermuda Triangle became famous, the public started considering the theory of alien involvement. They believe that aliens have chosen the Bermuda Triangle as a base to build an interdimensional portal to bring their people to Earth. According to this theory, aliens consider Bermuda their territory, so anyone who trespasses into this sea or airspace is in mortal danger. They deliberately jam compasses, disrupt radar systems, to abduct and harm humans. Any ships or planes that accidentally fly through this time portal are sucked in and taken to another dimension on a planet outside of Earth. This theory explains why some ships that pass through this area are intact, but the crew disappears because they've been taken by aliens. To this day, the alien theory is still a topic of much debate because no one can confirm or deny it. However, it's a source of endless inspiration for many science fiction filmmakers in Hollywood. 6. Other mysterious triangles. The images you're seeing on the screen are China's Bermuda, also known as the Devil's Triangle of Poyang Lake. According to statistics, over 30 years, from the early 1960s to the late 1980s, more than 200 boats sank in this lake area, causing 1,600 people to go missing and leaving 30 survivors mentally disturbed. One of these incidents was the sinking of the Japanese ship Kobe Maru, with a capacity of over 2,000 tons in 1945. No one on board survived. Japan then sent a rescue helicopter team, but after diving into the lake, almost all of them disappeared. Only one person returned, and he was in a state of shock and soon lost his memory. Along with that, there are countless other unexplained mysteries on Poyang Lake, making it known as the Bermuda Triangle of the East. Meanwhile, located opposite Bermuda in the Pacific Ocean, but at the same latitude, is a dangerous sea area marked by many mysterious disappearances of planes and ships, known as the Devil's Sea or the Dragon's Triangle, 100 kilometers south of Tokyo, Japan. In the 1200s, the Chinese Emperor Kublai Khan of the Yuan dynasty reportedly tried twice to invade Japan, sending ships and soldiers through the Devil's Sea. As a result, the emperor lost both ships and men, around 40,000 soldiers in both attempts. Up to 1989, there was a calamity that many fishing boats, oil tankers, and Soviet submarines suffered soon after 2 Japanese and American warships, along with many aircraft, disappeared after crossing this dreaded region. My dear, we've just gone through countless intriguing, exciting, and no less terrifying mysteries about the Bermuda Triangle, one of the most dangerous, mysterious, and frightening places in the world. And which of these facts surprised you the most? Leave a comment, share, and express your views and thoughts for me to know. Thanks for watching the video. And now, goodbye, and see you in the next episodes.